Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kyle, and as you can see, I'm out here filming today in my car, just getting ready for the 4th of July. Did not have time to get back home, but do have all the solar details from the month of June, and it was a very warm June. We had probably a full week of like 95-degree plus weather, so really ran the AC and have a pretty high electric bill this month because of it. So we'll dive into the numbers now, and here we go. So as you can see, the total generated outflow was 438 kilowatt hours this month, which is seen in column B here, and that uh, goes to the self-generated outflow section. We had 298 that we actually sold back to consumers of that 438 that we generated, and then we were charged for 409, leaving us to an electric bill of $51.80. So pretty high. Usually the month of June is one of the best producing months, but given the fact that we had that 100-degree weather for a week, it's not out of the norm, we'll say, for that to happen. So we'll go through all the details in a minute here, but before we dive into that part, I did want to talk about just how our solar panels have been doing so far. I'll do a yearly update video eventually here, but I do have this in-phase full year data tab, and it just basically looks at all the months and every day that we've generated outflow. And if you look at it, I take the average and break it out per month, and it gives us a total of 274 kilowatt hours as our average per month. And when just to kind of talk about when we first got the solar panels installed, the way they do it is they look at your last year's bill and determine an average over the last 12 months, and they want you to get to about 80% of that, is what these 8 panels should have been generating. That's kind of what we signed up for. So 80% of 404 is 323 kilowatt hours. So that's really what we signed up for, what we should expect. And once again, we are getting 274, which is not 323. So that ends up being about 70% of 404 instead of 80%. So we're not quite where we want to be in terms of production. That being said, we don't have the full year picture yet. So once we add July and August in there, we'll have the full year to look at. Um, and if we don't get there, I do think it's going to probably be a call by me to the solar panel company who installed these to see what we can do if we can get a couple more panels installed, whether that means that they'll cover it or we'll get it at cost, or maybe we'll have to pay for the whole thing. I'm not sure. We'll see how that conversation goes, but we are a little bit below what we were expecting. So just wanted to note that. And then, yeah, so that kind of attributes back to why it was $51.80. Ideally, it in June, if you use a normal amount of electricity, it really should be around that $40, given the fact that we have 8 panels and a 3-bed, 2-bath house. So it is a little higher than we expected. We're still happy with the solar panels. It's not like we're paying much extra to have them by any means, and it is going to pay off in the future, and it's going to make sense financially. But still, you want to be doing the best you can with them. So we'll go through all the numbers again here, and just dive into how this month really was. So I do that in this second section down here, which I have highlighted. Um, so so the best way to look at how we're doing this month is to take the in-phase data that we generated this month, the 438, which you can see right there, and then the self-generated outflow on the bill, which was 298, and then you subtract those two to get a total used while producing of 140. And it's worth noting, the best part about having solar panels is the total used while producing, because that is an amount that doesn't show up on any of the charges here. We don't get to sell it back, but we also don't get charged for it. So it's essentially free energy, and that means that it's coming to the solar panels from the sun, and you're using it in that same second. So whether you're charging your car, using an outlet, have a light on, that ends up being free electricity. But when it's nighttime, you're drawing that from the grid, and that's when you see these charges for having electricity. So once again, that total used while producing was 140, which is great. So our bill, we were charged 409, which you can see right there. and then you add back that total used while producing to give us what our bill would have been had we had never gotten solar panels installed. And that would be 549 kilowatt hours. So this is a chart just to kind of give a good estimation. And you can see it's in between that 96 and 114. And then when you calculate the tax with that, we'd be looking at a bill about 108. And once again, our bill was only $51, so we really did end up saving $56 just because we had solar panels. We still do currently have a loan on the solar panels. That's a 25-year loan at 7% interest, and that's at $86. So when you add that part in, we end up paying an extra $29.80. Depending on how financially savvy you are, that 7% is really of interest is pretty much all of the $30 here. So had we not have a high interest rate, it would be, zero extra paid. So it's still a great investment, and after we get these paid off, each month is just going to be saving money. So still very happy we have them, and yeah, I would definitely recommend them so far. The other thing that's worth noting this month is, so we had mortgage insurance on our house, and we were actually able to get that removed because our house value had gone up. Partially, a lot of it is from getting the solar panels put on, so that does increase your house value and did allow us to save on that PMI every month. So, definitely very happy with them, and like I said, would still recommend them. So yeah, that's the update for this month. I always love to hear anyone else has solar panels, so we know how much they're getting charged, how they're liking their panels, and like I said, we're at 70% of what our bill was when we first got them installed. Want to get that up to 80. I'll let you guys know how that conversation goes if we do end up getting more installed, and every month is different. So I'll keep you guys posted as usual, and enjoy the 4th of July.